expected, but in fact, it is Digital Chaos of all teams. Most folks didn't even have them finishing upper half. Some of them, quite a few of them, had them at the very bottom of the group. And suddenly, DC are here, having dropped only 2 games. With a 2-0 over EHOME, they would force a tie as far as record goes, at which point it would go to head-to-head. And of course, DC would have the head-to-head win since they've 2-0'd EHOME at that point. So DC with a 2-0 win the group. Yes. Any other result, EHOME win the group.
Yes, and so while all the other teams, or I guess 3 other teams, are fighting for upper bracket or lower bracket, now we see 2 of these teams going at it for pretty much pure seeding at this point. I do want to remind people that while DC did get to the upper bracket in Manila, it didn't particularly work out well for them, despite, of course, having a pretty good group stage. Here, they have done exceedingly well. We're talking, losing 3 games total overall through the group stages, and a total possible 5 if this doesn't go well for them here against EHOME. But EHOME, they've lost 1. So EHOME are looking exceptionally strong right now. Looking forward to seeing what these teams draft, and Digital Chaos have done their homework. They will take out the Lanham Kunkka, as that has done a lot of work for EHOME over the past couple of games.
It does leave the Keeper of the Light available. That's another hero EHOME likes to run, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just pull out something totally different here. There's heroes like Io still in the pool, which DC, by the way, do like to run. The Riki is out there, another hero that could come into play. Shadow Demon, lots of good illusion heroes. It's really open-ended, and I don't expect EHOME to just go with their bread and butter. So they do change it up. They get Shadow Demon, they get Mirana. The Mirana feels like a slight block pick. It's something EHOME can run, but it's something DC in particular has really fallen back on in a lot of these critical wins.
Yeah, and different roles as well, whether it's the carry for, or we should say mid laner for Weeha, or whether it's played by Misery as support. There's often a lot of ways Digital Chaos like to run and use the Mirana. So like you said, block pick for damn sure. EHOME will grab the Shadow Demon as well. Just very strong with, a lot of agility carries. You make illusions like, for example, the Luna we saw earlier on today, and that just crushes your base pretty much. And something similar is like the Juggernaut. Perhaps maybe you can even make illusions of the Drow Ranger if you really want to use illusions to take down bases. But
yes, Drow is available. Huskar is also available.
Yeah, and with an Oracle picked up for DC, you have to be very careful for EHOME. And also for DC, you have to maybe ban out other defensive heroes like per potentially maybe the Dazzle or something along those lines. So
yeah, I don't think DC will run Oracle and Dazzle as their support duo, just because then they don't have anyone to really go around and control the map before the bat blink. But I definitely still think Huskar is in the cards.
EHOME picked it their last game against Vici Gaming Reborn, and they did it with some interesting supports. It was the
you meant for EHOME. Yeah,
yes,
Dazzle Huskar for EHOME could work.
Yeah, but and not only that, but they picked Warlock, and they also picked, what else did they pick?
Legion Commander.
Legion, and they had Jug Healing Ward as well. So there was like a lot of heals that you wouldn't think would be good, but actually worked out and did wonders for Ice in that game.
So Morphling will be banned. Shadow Demon traditionally pretty good against him with the Disruption, the Purge.
There it is.
If EHOME don't want to pick Huskar, they are going to ban it. Drow is available. I kind of feel like DC need to ban Drow.
Yeah, I think so too.
If they don't, decent chance EHOME will take it.
I think Mirana and Drow together are a bit too dangerous to leave in.
Yeah, because you have that perfect mix of Magic, and EG should have won that game. Sure, they really lose, but their lineup was stronger late. They just got outplayed by Alliance and made some critical blunders in their own right.
I agree with you. We'll see if they ban out the Drow, or there's other choices, obviously. There's still plenty of good heroes in the pool if you want to ban out. I guess more support heroes. If you think that Mirana is not the support for EHOME and is more likely the core, then maybe you ban out the Warlock. You've seen Fenrir play it one too many times, and you say, okay, well, that's enough of that, or Old Chicken for that matter. You ban out something else entirely. There's other choices for you to go off of, and plenty of heroes. This is 100 heroes picked currently at TI6, I believe. LD.
It makes drafting very difficult. Sure, teams have their favorites, as we will see the Timbersaw ban. That normally means DC are either looking for a strength hero mid, which doesn't lane well against Timber, or they are considering something like a Terrorblade.
Yeah, Naga would have been the other choice, but that's banned out currently by DC in the first round. Not surprising, that hero has had some good successes over the past couple of days. And a lot of that really has to do with, one team maybe trying to go for an all-in push play, the other team just split pushing and trying to keep the game even. We saw that with, of course, OG versus Alliance game number 2. That worked out rather well for OG with a Naga Siren. So there are choices. I mean, yeah, they could go Terrorblade. I mean, or they just don't want to play Timber against Timbersaw. They know Ice 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 loves to play it in the safe lane. He played it in the first game against VGR in that series, which was not too long ago. But EHOME will grab the Ogre Magi, and that secures Mirana as the core.
And I think more importantly, it's not that they pick Ogre, it's that they don't reveal a core. So DC will only have 2 picks to counter both of EHOME's cores, and EHOME have the last overall pick in this draft. So expect them to mask something, DC now. They know it's a Mirana core at this point. Not that that really reveals much, and there's plenty of setup for the Mirana. We all know what Ogre brings to the table. Don't really have to talk about that too much.
I think you maybe try to find a good matchup against Mirana mid. I'm trying to think about I guess TA was the good matchup we were talking about the other day.
TA's good, but Shadow Demon Ogre is very good against TA.
True,
we saw that
true.
yesterday, that if you just ignite her, you can't meld dodge it, and it instantly removes all your refraction. I believe it was No who had a really rough time in the mid lane. That was actually when DC played VGR, who they lost to, right? They lost both of their games against VGR.
He had a rough lane for the start, but then he came back in the mid stage of the game with the Ancient Stacks, and he crushed it. So
the dirty.
And there
Alchemist.
it is. And then EHOME grabbed the Luna, as we talked about, with the Shadow Demon. It's just so common to see. I mean, a lot of teams have been doing this recently. Shadow Demon Illusions into Luna, and she just has her glaives, and she just crushes the base. And
it's a hero that can push. I wonder why Luna over Drow specifically.
I think Luna's better with Shadow Demon Disruption Illusions, but that's the only reason I can think of. She does also. She's
definitely better later on, because the glaives can bounce through the enemy base. So I'd say Luna's late game siege is better, but she takes a little longer to come online. Needs a bit more farm.
I like
and she's a stronger, aggressive tri-lane hero as well. If EHOME want to run one, which is still an option, not knowing that last pick. We'll have to see.
That's true. I think. While the Drow does plenty of right-click damage, when you get to that point, when you get in the early stage of the game, level 6, stuff like that, you have Eclipse at least for Luna, which gives you plenty of magic damage and burst. Riki, though, coming out for Digital Chaos, however, is they're gonna run that little bastard around the map.
He is a bastard. He's good against Mirana. He's great against Shadow Demon, and can be a real threat later on. So a Luna counter gets removed here. Lifestealer just destroys this hero. Also is a great partner for Riki and for Batrider. So whether or not DC wanted it, it's a very wise ban.
I think so. I mean, Riki, how many times have we seen Riki have the Infest Bomb ready to go? We've seen a couple of games already where that's won them some fights, as well as games in general. So I think it's a good ban, taking out the Lifestealer. Then the Legion Commander ban as well, which EHOME played not too long ago, I think by Old 11. Played it very well in that off lane. Digital Chaos now will pick up their last hero. They're looking for what I imagine to be a safe lane hero for Resolution, and there are a couple of choices. Resolution has a somewhat varied hero pool.
We've seen Slark, we've seen Morphlane. You are running an Alchemist, so ideally someone who benefits from the Ags. And remember, Alk takes a while to come online, so it's not too greedy.
Something fighting, I think Slark could be good. Furion, and wow, they're going to put the safe lane?
Hey, there's a good Eggs candidate. I like the Furion.
Yeah.
He's good at stalling the game. Like, Alk Prophet combined, if Alk gets to that point where he's got the Manta, Octarine, BOT's Radiance, and you haven't already lost Rex, with a Prophet as well, you feed him an Eggs, good luck to EHOME ever leaving their base. So it seems quite clear DC just want to buy time for the Alchemist and then rat it out, take it late. And here comes the Rat Exterminator, Travis. It is Sandkey.
Yeah, I love this hero. Moo knows how to play it and probably knows how to play against it rather well. So EHOME is just saying, listen, Moo, we know you like this hero. It didn't work the other day, yesterday, when you guys played it. We're going to show you how it works exactly. And
it was a disaster. That was, it's funny.
Out.
We only cast DC once, and we cast the one match where they just got
crushed.
stomped.
Yeah, they got crushed.
So when I saw DC, I'm like, God, this team looks really weak. but they've won every other game except those 2 months.
It came down to really just the Sand King pick not working out. We talked about it numerous times. Like, well, it was the Sand King, I guess. I mean, there was other things a part of that draft as well. But, yeah, no, DC looks good everywhere else except in that one game that we casted.
I think EHOME is considering an aggressive tri-lane here for sure.
I would imagine. Yeah, Shadow Demon, Ogre Magi, Luna, and then you have a safe lane for a Sand King.
Like, what is Oracle Riki? I don't even know what the tri-lane would be, honestly.
Oracle Riki
probably
Furion?
a Furion tri-lane.
We'll wait and see how things pan out, though. But this is very interesting to me. I like both drafts equally, honestly. It comes down to who's going to be able to have a better early impact in these laning phases and into the early game. Because then, will the Alchemist have a good start is the big question. Or will the Luna be able to farm up and get up to a very quick, Mantis style or something along those lines. And we'll wait and see how things progress. And again, it's that Aghanim Scepter as well for the Marauder for Old Chicken, who's going to be playing at mid. So we'll jump into the game now. DC versus EHOME. Remember, 1-1 ties don't mean anything. EHOME will take the group if that's the case. For DC, they have to 2-0 to take the group and be the leaders. And of course, that will get them better seeding as well. Moving into the upper bracket of the playoffs, the main event for TI6. We're right around the corner with that, David.
We are, and look at how much warding has been done here by Old 11. Misery is going to scout him out, can give him a little poke, has already skilled up Cloak and Dagger, but no real kill potential, just some chip. So he managed to snake around, drop the Observer ward in the mid lane, so they get great intel whenever the Alchemist is going for bounty runes, which is a key component of running Alch. And on top of that, drops an Observer that scouts the bottom rune and a Sentry to block the camp. So they got a lot of mileage out of that smoke, basically. Meanwhile, Misery just gets the 1 lane ward down near the mid lane. Does EHOME potentially kill him here? No detection on Lanham. Doesn't look like they can, but they snag the bounty rune from out under Weehaw. Honestly, I almost think it's worth the first blood, which it looks like it's going to be.
Resolution will be getting it too, so that's not bad for DC. Yeah, I mean, you got some nice gold, but I don't know. Weehaw is taking damage from Old Lanham, though, on his way out, and he's got another Ignite ready to go. This is a lot of damage. He no regen. He's going to have to figure out a salve.
He went for the early 4-man shield, too. They're going to try to kill him here, Mott.
The arrow does miss, though, but Old Chicken is thinking about walking up to the high ground. Weehaw is still taking so much damage, and finally, Misery.
Another Ignite. Another Ignite. He's got to fog him, but the Mirana's going to get vision.
There it is. It should kill him, and now with one more right click, yeah, he's going to go down. And, well, at least the Dyer's courier does die. I'm not sure where that courier went down, but still, Weehaw.
It was not microed, and it just ran by their tower and fed. All right.
We've
got ourselves a game of Dota, too.
There's some silly stuff happening. Weehaw going down. It's not first blood, though, so they don't get some extra gold going the way of EHOME, but that's still a pretty big kill.
Whose courier was that? Must have been Old Chicken, right?
I would imagine.
Old Chicken. Shame on you.
Do you know what it had on it?
It had his tangos.
Yeah, that's probably...
It's a big deal. Well, I guess he'll miss his bottle timing for the first rune, but he'll have it up after that. So it's not the end of the world in the mid lane. Plus, Weehaw is not going to be... it's not a hero that can really punish this too heavily. It's not the best laning hero.
Right.
Still, though.
Let's go.
Interesting start here, Mott.
Right now, Misery down bottom looking for Old 11 or Old Bottom. Does he have Smoke Screen? No, still level 1, but here comes the Fortune's End. He's got Burrow Strike ready to go if he needs to get out of a bad situation, and it looks like he might have to. He goes and does a little bit of damage to Misery in the process, but he'll Fairy Fire up and he should be fine.
That leaves Old Lanham on his own, but he just sees opportunity to hit things, getting blocked by the trance a bit. So a Nature's Prophet tri-lane, this leaves Moo on an island top. There is some kill potential on a Bat Rider, but they need levels. It's not a lane they can really punish early. As the arrow flies, top lane. Keeping eyes on Weehaw because the whole game plan is really built around him. 0 bounty runes at 2 minutes. Definitely want to keep track of that, but so far, not so good for him.
The Arcane is not that helpful. This early on for an Alchemist.
Oh, that acid spray.
Wow, the cooldown. Yeah. Woo. That's so fun, but we'll keep our eyes there.
Cast it twice for Creep Wave.
Old 11 down bottom again. The Ignite Burrow Strike. Misery's caught out. That's your first, or not first play, excuse me, another kill in this bottom lane now going the way of Old 11, so.
This is just a weak lane.
Yeah, it is.
Riki, Oracle, Nature's Prophet. Like, where's the synergy there? And I think Misery recognizes that. There's not much kill potential unless someone's horribly out of position. I will go try and win other lanes for my team.
The fact that they're winning that lane 2 versus 3 or doing a good job is pretty nice. Here's the disruption coming up from Fenrir is 2 stacks of sticky napalm, and Moo won't push his luck.
doesn't want a piece of that. I think wisely, as Misery was in fact stalking it.
Yeah.
Plus the Nature's Prophet can TP in.
Until they see Misery rotate on the map again, they're probably thinking, let's
they want
be
to
a
bring
bit
in
more
the
careful.
MP. It's that Sprout into Smoke combo.
Fenrir's in a lot of
They
trouble.
don't even need
I don't
to.
think they need him. Yeah, he has no more disruption for 3 seconds. They just need the last right click, and Misery will get it done on the Reiki, the Blightstone.
Meanwhile, the mid lane, Weehaw caught out, picked off again. Another frustrating turn here for the Alk. 0-2, no bounty runes. He is sad.
Now EHOME again looking as good as they've looked so far this entire tournament, with the exception of one loss against Liquid, and now they're going to go to Ice 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 for DC's side. They've dropped the sentry. Misery will take the Loosened Beam. They have disruption, but now he's out of range. Another sentry ready to go. They'll drop it down towards the side
have
chap.
TP mana. He doesn't have Blink Strike skilled up. I think he's just dead if
no
EHOME
money.
focus him.
He has no money, so he can't buy that TP.
They probably assume he's just TP'd out.
And it's a pretty good assumption too, but he's going to walk through the sentries again. They saw him there. He was pinged out, I believe.
He's still in vision, can drag the creeps back, trying to disrupt the pole. A bit of a risky maneuver.
It works out.
But it does end up working out.
Yeah, they get the one range creep. Who cares?
Oh, Soxa found by Old Lanham, doesn't have mana for the Ignite, but Old 11's here as well. He's got no boots. That's an Ogre with Windlace and boots.
Fortune's
See ya,
in.
Soxa.
Used, maybe he could deny himself. Nah, slowed up by the Caustic Finale, and that's going to be the Ignite. Meanwhile, top lane, they do get the kill as they rotate up. Resolution with the TP coming out from the Furion. They take down the Luna, a bigger kill to be sure, going the way of DC.
Yeah, she is farming very well. Overall, big farm advantage to EHOME, but DC having the Alchemist and still managing to do okay in the laning stage. Keeps it relatively close, 5 minutes in. Things calming down now as Old Chicken does have his bottle. Boots likely coming out soon, and he got the courier back. So, looking forward the next 5 minutes or so. Alchemist will just be desperately trying to secure bounty runes. Did he get the last one? No, Old Lanham did. So, man, the rune control has been so good for EHOME
for
thus
3
far.
then, I believe.
0 for 3.
Yeah.
Alchemist actually needs bounty runes if he doesn't have an easy lane, and this is not an easy lane by any means. He's doing okay on CS 16, but it's not a lane where he's going to dominate.
Died twice at the beginning of the game once, then another time just with the Ogre rotation. Yeah, he definitely needs a little bit more help, and those bounty runes will be, of course, the help that he needs, I think. And it's going to be 30 seconds before the next one spawns.
The worry here is that Old 11 is having a good start, and that's the hero that can take the game over for EHOME. And once he gets the Blink Dagger, he'll just be running around constantly looking for kills. But mid lane, Misery going in.
He does a lot of damage, especially with that Blightstone, but Old Chicken is able to survive. And Alchemist can't follow up. He can't really do anything. He can drop an Acid Spray on the ground, but that's it. He can't run it at his enemies just yet. He doesn't do nearly enough damage, even if he did. Another rotation from maybe someone like that Furion. And so far, Resolution's only rotated once. He's almost going to kill Old 11, getting him down to 190 HP down bottom. But Old 11's able to burrow strike away and get out of any sort of trouble there.
Tangos arrive. Just trying to continue collecting his experience here in the lane.
Top lane.
While Misery stalks again. They have the Nature's Prophet TP. They're thinking about it. Ice 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 has Eclipse, though.
No lasso, but they
the
won't be
fade
able to
time
go
is
for the kill.
pretty long. It's 6 seconds. If they don't perfectly combo him, he can turn this with an Eclipse, but maybe not when there's 2 heroes until the Shadow Demon comes in.
The disruption. There's the smoke screen. He should fall without getting his Eclipse off. Maybe not.
There's
he gets out of it.
He's not going to waste it.
The Lucid Beam doing some good damage. Misery avoids the second Shadow Poison and now is out of range.
Oh, look at Old Land. This is the Alchemist hate train. Arrow coming in. We go back to the base. Old Lanham says, there's nothing for you here.
Some time wasted for EHOME as well, though, and it's going to allow Resolution to put pressure on the top tier 1 tower, as Fenrir is going to be able to at least get some CS and experience himself. He's level 4 now, trying to deal with the Treants. They're just going to dive him, though. The Sprout is up, though, but there's the TP coming in from the Luna. Like you said, they have the Eclipse up move. Has Firefly at the ready, no level 6 in Lasso, and they will back away, not losing any heroes. Although, coming in from the backside, Old Chicken has Arrow, not to mention Max Starstorm, ready to go.
They need this Morana to start finding pickoffs. Just buy a little time.
Ooh, the courier? No. Misery.
Constant pokes.
He's got to be careful. I mean, that's only, that's a long fade time.
Oh, he even got pinged. Weehaw, Misery called it out, but
so long.
I think.
Uphill miss, and he actually stays alive, and now the Chemical Rage will keep him up. Starstorm is not there. They're looking to turn 2. Fairy Fire, Old Chicken will fall, and Resolution with a great TP gets a double kill.
That miss.
Oh my lord.
That miss. Ouch. Ouch.
That's, That's tilt-worthy if you are EHOME. There's probably no way that should happen.
That's how Dota is sometimes, though.
Oh, he's going to find his first bounty rune. It looks like it. 8 minutes, and he's going to get it. I don't know if he got the 6-minute one. I'm assuming no. But he will get it this time around.
I think that's his first, honestly. Yeah. But Misery going to go down here. EHOME. Still applying pressure. I still like their overall game plan, even though that engagement ends up working poorly. But if you could completely shut down the Alk, once Sand King gets, like for this stage of the game, once Sand King gets Blink, their kill potential is incredible.
They just keep killing the Alk over and over and over with the Blink Dagger from the Sand King.
Or just take over his jungle, like which is what they've done here. They've aggressively moved in, now going for Weeha. Has the Chemical Rage though.
Evan going to come out, Chemical Rage keeping him alive. It's the Starstorm that does the damage. Old 11 almost going down to the tower. He's going to try to get out, but Misery has vision and he jumps in with a smoke screen and Blink Strike, finding the kill. It is a 1-for-1, but again, Weeha falling.
Fenrir almost dead. He's going to deny to neutrals. Tusa, our support and an offlaner for an Alk. It's a slightly favored DC trade from the looks of things.
If you have the net worth chart open, it is the top two going the way of DC, and no surprises that Resolution is on top, building that drum and about to grab what I imagine to be maybe a Maelstrom as he has the Gloves of Haste.
Yeah, Maelstrom or Midas. Let's see what Resolution wants.
So yeah, Resolution, I think either of which is fine. If he goes for the Maelstrom, he wants to put more pressure on these heroes, and he can push down creep waves a bit easier. But
the Midas is cool if you want to rush the... If Valk wants to give him an Ags early, because then you have the level 3 ult as quickly as possible.
Very true.
Otherwise, if they want to fight a little more in the early game, the Maelstrom is the better combat item.
Moo might be going the drum build himself. He has two components.
Bottom lane, they found Misery, moving in, stun, drops the defensive cloud, blinks away, see you later.
Still dusted
but
up,
he
though.
Is dusted,
and there's the
and
fire
he ain't gonna
blast.
make it out.
The Ignite, which will take him down as well for Old Man, and so Misery dies yet again, but not the worst death in the world. And, well, it's back to farming, but where's Weeha right now? He's in the jungle, still no Armlet just yet, and again, remember that most Alchemists, well, it's Armlet and Radiance by 14 minutes is how it goes usually for Alchemists. Although it could be a bit later, 15, 16 is not that bad either, but we'll see where Weeha ends up with those two items if he decides to go the Radiance route.
Yeah, this EHOME style feels a lot like the old Vici gaming. A lot of roaming, constant ganking and pressure. But it's even coming from the cores, not just the supports, as they have kept good vision up all over the Radiant jungle. You can see actually these sentries got planted to try and de-ward.
He's going to break the smoke. Fenrir, yeah.
Does have a sentry. Oh, they're trying to go on him. Old Chicken's there as well, though.
They drop it, yeah. Misery now. If they walked up, they actually have vision from the Observer Ward on the high ground there. Instead, they'll back away. They'll head back towards the top rune spot. And then think about just splitting up now, I suppose. Back to farming. And it is, by the way, Moo going for the drum build. He has it now. So 2 drums picked up for DC, 1 on Resolution. Burrow struck.
Old Chicken is not just going to give away this camp for free.
That is a large, large camp.
Gets the Ignite off, but flanking is Moo. This could really slow down the Batriders' blink, or drums in this case. They've got to contest this.
They're going to come in. Good smoke screen tricks the trade. Bottom's getting low, silenced up still. Now the Firefly, good Fire Blast. There's the Moonlight Shadow. He's immediately taken down, though his Sock says rotated in. Misery might be next, but pop the...
Oh, he's silenced for now. He does manage to blink away. Meanwhile, while that was happening, bottom lane, Old 11 looks like combines with Ice Ice Ice. It does find a kill there. That secures the blink. This is where the EHOME aggression hits that next level. Can DC withstand it? Prepare for the blink debut momentarily. Do they have detection, though? Doesn't look like it.
Good try. And then they find the Burrow Strike. They were ready for this. There's the Lucid Beam, and the fade time is just not enough. Maybe it is, and he will stay alive. Although the Caustic Finale, it's probably going to kill him.
Oh, he's going to go for a blind burrow.
No, he's fine.
Nope. Not going to get him.
I was going to say the Caustic Finale was going to kill him, but that already was ticked off, so he will end up staying alive. That was very dangerous for Misery. That's just one attempt at a deny, and he almost dies for it. Now he has to go all the way back home and heal up.
But finally they have gotten off Weeha's back, and he gets a bounty rune, so...
Look how much gold that gives you, 400 immediately as soon as he picks it up, and so now he's up to 2,000, and again, it's 12.5 minutes, he gets closer and closer to that relic. We'll see how things shape up for DC. So again, that Blink Dagger is done. Maybe Old 11 would like to move with his team here and smoke up pretty soon. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to farm. How's this Luna doing? Luna currently sitting 4th in net worth, but not too far behind. He's picked up the Helm of the Dominator, going for the Yasha as well. And seems to be, I think, stacking these Ancients, in fact, is. And stacking it again right now as we speak.
EHOME, it's all about aggressive wards, taking towers after you find kills, keeping the DC jungle under control. They accomplished step 1 of that plan, which is taking the tier 1 bottom, but they cannot loosen up their chokehold on the map. DC are the team that want this game to be slow. They want the out effect to kick in. Conversely, for them, holding the tier 1 mid is of utmost importance. The top tower, not quite as much, though it does lend some alternative access paths to the Ancient. But the mid tier 1, that's where it's at for DC. They must defend this at all costs.
And it's taken a small bit of beating, although EHOME's tier 1 tower mid is taking a bit more. Misery has been scouted out. There's the burrow strike from Old 11 after the blink in, and well, the demonic bird should find Misery's dead.
Fenrir has to keep those poisons going, and Ice there is the cleanup crew.
Yeah, he comes in losing beam. Easy pickup for Luna. Back to farming we go, now with 75 CS and 1 kill to his name.
The instant smoke.
This should find a kill.
Relentless aggression.
Moo needs to leave, and he will TP out, but now Old 11 blinking in burrow strike. He needs to use it. Oh my lord, literally 0.2 seconds left. And disruption will come through just to make sure if the epicenter is getting channeled, Moo will go down with losing beam. I think that might have been unnecessary, but still a kill is a kill, one way or the other.
At this point in the game, you're probably not... DC is unlikely to group and go for a team fight, so blowing epicenter just to secure a kill is fine, but... Man, Moo, he reacted quickly too. He got out of there within like 10 seconds of the smoke starting and didn't really have much reason to suspect they would go bottom. But
Old 11 moving that.
Quite in time.
I felt like Old 11 just came out of nowhere with that blink. Now the TP in, Lanham in trouble, sprouts up. There's the Purifying Flames and should fall. They even with the burrow strike coming in. False promise on Misery just to make sure he gets out. Might want to keep going though. That tower's low. They have Koreans coming in.
So the Luna Siege will begin bottom, but DC counter-punching mid.
There's the Midas for the Nature's Prophet, by the way.
Yeah, so I think the DC game plan is really going to hinge around giving Resolution a fast eggs, and then playing just the constant map pressure game. But I'm curious to see if that is indeed the choice. Is Old 11? Hey, buddy. Just wanted to let you know I'm here.
Weehaw has enough for the Relic, 15 minutes in. Looks like it's going to be a 16-minute Armlet Radiance, which, again, not the fastest time for Weehaw, but she has been ganked, and that's pretty good, all things considered, for 3 deaths and a lack of bounty runes, a significant lack of bounty runes. But Old 11 has been farming so well, and he's been farming heroes most importantly. His Blink Dagger and Aether Lens are now done. We'll see where he moves. Do they have a smoke up? It looks like not on anybody that I can tell. No smokes for EHOME, so they're just going to sit back for now.
Misery stalking Fenrir, but Fenrir keeping a very good distance from Moo, who now disappears. And not good enough. Gets caught by the lasso. It's backstabbed by Misery, and we'll be giving up a kill.
Yeah.
I even committed the tricks of the trade for that.
Even with the Moonlight Shadow, all he has to do is keep the Firefly on him, and the tricks of the trade would have secured it one way or the other. And they will Moonlight Shadow, so they don't need smoke. They just need the Moonlight Shadow to secure a kill. I don't know if they did that anywhere under vision. Old 11, he is under vision right now, as he is not part of that Moonlight Shadow anymore, and now it looks like Soxa has to be careful.
They see the Sand King just wander around their jungle, and they want a piece of him.
There's a lot of heroes here, though.
Lanham's there, though. He's got dust. He's not using it. His smoke just broke. Was that the end of the smoke?
It could have been.
I think it might have been the end.
It was very close, I think.
Because Old Chickens also was already broken, so must have been the end of the smoke, or they would have gone for it. But now EHOME will start pushing. They need to take control of the Ancients away from DC. Alchemist already has Relic. Radiance is coming. There's still that window where he's got to get BOTs and Manta, and then it gets really hard to stop him, but already I feel like DC's game plan is starting to kick into gear here. EHOME, Roshan, perhaps their next objective, or just constantly trying to steal stacks, but eventually this Alch Prophet is going to get out of hand.
I don't think EHOME should be super worried, though. I think that Luna is a good late-game hero in her own right, not to mention what they have. Blink Burrow again onto Soxa this time, but...
Can they ball it up? Arrow's coming through.
Oh, he actually cast all the spells, and that allowed him to stay in place. And he's almost certainly dead as the Starstorm will come through.
From behind, Old 11. Is it epicenter time? It sure is.
He's going to jump in onto 2. Beautifully done. Look at that damage. Weehaw, though, with the Chemical Breach will heal up. Old Lanham was about to go down to Misery, but that is cleaned up quickly by that Old 11 Sand King. So a great performance that is just getting better and better for EHOME over time.
Yeah, Luna SD is actually quite good at dealing with the Alchemist Illusion spam, because the bouncing glaives will relatively quickly deal with illusion. So illusion carries in general I don't think do particularly well against Luna, but that said, it's already becoming a significant gold lead for DC. It will extend unless they keep on finding kills. Ice now, trying to clear out an ancient stack of his own. Does have the level 3 bouncing glaives, so pretty much the standard Luna skill build here. Only taking the 2 points in the R. It used to be players would max it, but that was more when you would 5-man push towers, and nowadays Luna isn't really played that way.
Well, you just need to be able to take the stacks, and you can't do that with like level 1 or level 2 glaives, so he'll be able to do it now, and he actually gets help with disruption illusions as Resolution finds a kill on an old chicken, and that's a really big pickoff.
Delays the Ags here. He has not gone for BOTs either. Grabs the phase boots again. This is something I've seen old chicken do quite a few times, but it's very uncharacteristic for most Maranas who are more interested in those slightly greedier build that translates into greater farm later on. BOTs into Blink Dagger.
I don't know, maybe the phase boot signifies that they can transition out of the Aghanim Scepter late game or that Castro build late game. You can go into what Sumail did, which was the Mjolnir, followed by a couple of other items.
But late game you want BOTs anyway.
True.
So I think it more signifies they want to keep the pressure up now.
Yes.
And they'll need to, because Resolution is pushing top.
Boots of Travel now up for the Alchemist, speaking of bots, and he might need to use him here as DC might get caught from the backside. Ice roaming in with Fenrir. They might have vision. They obviously have the Sentry there, but I don't think they had the vision of them coming through. They will now.
Sentry. Old Chicken will get scouted. He knows there's a Sentry because the creeps start following him.
He doesn't care. He leaps in anyways. He really wants Rezo. The Sprout, nicely done. Arrows running to move, but he blasts him up. Now there's the Eclipse coming through as well, but there's the False Promise on top of it. Old Chicken's low and will finally fall.
And likely the Bat Rider going to drop after this. No, he is kept alive. Old 11 drops. Sand King dead very early in the fight, and on the backside, Weeha's moving in. Can they bring him down? They're trying to focus the raid boss. He's pretty tanky, Moss.
He's got three stacks of Shadow Poison. He's about to fall.
Armlet toggle.
Can he keep him alive? Wow, that unstable concoction helping out so much. He's low, but he will not fall. He'll stay alive. The Purifying Flames continues to toggle. Lanham on the run. He will be the only survivor as DC clean up. They take a huge fight, and look at that gold change. The fight recap. It says about 2 to 3,000 here is going their way.
Oh, it's way more than that. They are going to take a tier 2 top. They will take over this EHOME jungle, likely clear out quite a few camps for the Alchemist. They get 2-3 minutes of farm minimum off of that fight. This is probably a 6,000 to 7,000 gold swing by the time DC finishes farming for the next couple minutes. And I think the big thing there, they didn't get anything out of Old 11. No Epicenter. He died really early. Sand Cane is an absolutely crucial part of their team fight, especially because Old Chicken doesn't have Ags yet. And Luna Eclipse was somewhat dealt with. She got fogged quite a bit.
Old 11, Epicenter being channeled. He doesn't have Chemical Rage on Stable Concoction. Weeha still very tanky, disrupted. That might very well keep him alive as Resolution is here, but no, the Demonic Purge will take him down. Fenrir and Old 11.
He could get brought down, actually, if he's not careful.
Oh, here comes Misery. Smokescreen finds Fenrir. Good Burrow Strike to keep Fenrir alive. Old 11 now, but still one more backstep. Now they push the trade. Luna's coming as well. Eclipse is not there. Sox is low, and they bring him down, too. It looks like
Misery gets a double kill for the support Riki. My God, what a madman.
A 3 for 2 though for EHOME when it's all said and done. It's a big pickup on Weeha. That is the most important thing, and that's actually 2,000 gold, almost 2,000 gold going the way of EHOME themselves. That's crazy. Back and forth we go.
Well, it seems like DC thought the way I did. Hey, we just want a 5-man team fight. We can go push and farm now, but spread out the map. And EHOME said, "Nuh-uh, not like that." Immediately fighting to kill him. It's on the Alk. That's the hero you need to keep down. Eventually, he will make your profit even scarier. So, still, overall, DC quite happy with this game. They have plenty of outer towers up. They're farming well on the Alk and the NP. They have the ability to redistribute wealth later on, but I think EHOME at the same time have a good scaling late game in their own right. They have Bloodlust. They have Soul Catcher to deal with particularly any sort of tank carry, which is what the Alchemist is in this case. And they have Luna, who deals well with illusion. So I don't think it's a clear cut and dry DC auto-win late game in a fight, but where DC will excel is their ability to constantly keep all the lanes pushed out and have the map control edge. Also with the Bat Rider and the Riki, these are great vision heroes, so in that sense I do favor DC going late, but still EHOME have a really strong fight.
I think EHOME's team fight right now might be a little bit stronger.
It's definitely stronger right now.
I think it's just that even going later on into the game, I still think EHOME's team fight might be a bit stronger at that point as well. Even if you are to level everything up and get DC some really important items, it comes down to how much can the Alchemist do. And a couple of lassos as well. So EHOME currently, I don't think they're that concerned. They're going to head top together as a team. Smoke up, trying to find something. It looks like they won't be successful as Misery picks up a Midas. I guess that's what the double kill nets you is, of course, and
all right,
back into this game and getting experience. Not to
are we going to get
gold.
another 70+ minute game, Travis?
We get a lot of those.
Are we in for a treat?
We really get a lot of those.
I want this one to be an epic one. Only fitting to kick off the series. Remember, DC needs game 1 just to have a chance of winning the group.
Not only that, but game 2 as well. Resolution will sprout himself as he'll look to get out of this top lane. It looks like they're going to give up another tower. The tier 1 and the tier 2 bottom both fell recently. It's a lot of gold. Again, it was a 7,500 net worth advantage for DC. Now it's closing in on about 4,000.
Oh, the 11's going to go bottom at the center. Do. Hello, Resolution. Gets off the extra caustic proc. I don't know if it's enough damage to get the kill, though.
He's got no burrow.
A bit too tanky. Does make it out. He forces him back, but you're really looking for the kill there.
Yeah, that's Resolution. Again, it's the drum. It's just about everything. I mean, his levels as well. He's got the Midas. He's almost level 16, as you talked about. So that Aghanim Scepter from the Alchemist could certainly help when he gets there. But Weehaw not really in a position to give away Aghanim Scepters yet. He needs probably the Manta as well as the Octarine before he decides to start giving away those Ags.
Whew, all right. Exterminator in the house. BOTs for Old 11. He now, he already converted his energy booster into the Aether Lens, grabs the Wind Lace for the extra bit of move speed. Sand King needs to be the guy that runs around setting up kills on Nature's Prophet and Alk. He is the key. And he's got the mobility that he might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, those boots of travel just picked up for Old 11, so he can move around with his teammates and try to get something done as well. That's exactly what DC are doing. They have smoked up and they're looking to try to find a target. The arrow will sail through and it does hit Moo, and he should know. There's a noise made by Mirana once you hit something, even in fog or smoke like that. But Old Chicken will sit behind his tier 1 tower, and with that, the smoke is unsuccessful. They do get some wards down, at least one actually was placed earlier, so none of these wards are new or fresh. DC are just going to back away and continue to farm up for the time being.
DC definitely in a decent position here. Not hemorrhaging kills, 17 to 15. Resolution having a hell of a game. And now building towards Hurricane Pike.
Doesn't have the Dragon Lance yet, so he's going to build it all together and get it at one point in time. And that's pretty nice. I mean, it's going to give you... I've seen plenty of Hurricane Pikes before, and it's going to give you plenty of both sieging potential and just damage over a team fight as well.
Late game, you can kite Luna quite a bit. The glaives will bounce fairly far, but if you just sprout her and are hitting her from distance, can be an effective tool.
Does Hurricane Pike, the active, go through Magic Immunity? I don't think it probably doesn't. So. I mean, I would imagine it doesn't.
Yeah, the way this game is developing, I'm not sure.
Oh, what a sentry by Misery. Sees Old Chicken coming with Moonlight Shadow. They know that it's up. Resolution immediately TPs, and Misery should follow soon.
It's not really the best BKB game, though. It helps you a lot against the Riki Cloud. That's the main thing. So... Not sure if Luna will end up going for it.
He just bought this gem, the Sand King, or I'm not sure who's... I believe this is the Sand King's.
Yes.
That he just purchased up.
And
that's very nice.
It is a recent grab as well. But this is a DC tempo. Heroes aren't dying. Alchemist is pushing. Prophet is pushing. They're farming the enemy woods. And yeah, the supports are going to get really poor. The Bat Rider is going to get really far behind. But giving each of those heroes an eggs goes a long way.
Yeah, there's the disruption coming out, though.
Well, let's hope for the Riki, but...
Burrow Strike has found Misery. Smoke screen way too late, and then they just Fire Blast and Lucent Beam him. Stun lock for days, and Misery is too squishy in order to survive that. And Resolution will split push top while this is happening. His Hurricane Pike just about done. He has the 4-step already, so he's got all of it. The tier 2 tower mid will fall, though. EHOME starting to pressure and push their timing.
So ice. I have Scotty very soon to come, and I think that'll be the timing for EHOME, where they try to take an Aegis, and then you've got very tanky Luna illusions at a point where Radiant's Burn isn't going to be enough to kill them off in a timely fashion. DC are light on deep push. They have Acid Spray, they have Radiant's Burn, and that's basically it. Firefly's okay, but you really want to save that cooldown for when you initiate. So I think EHOME, they get the Scotty here, and then they either find a kill and then go Roche, or just straight Roche and try to push towards the DC base.
Yeah, he just picks up his second ultimate orb, so he'll have that very soon. Resolution almost getting ganked to the top lane. We'll be able to TP back home, heal on up, and I wonder if DC will take a gem for themselves. Obviously, having one would get them some map control they really need and getting their jungle back. Because their jungle has been invaded a couple of times there, and that's how Misery died. You got to make a decision based off of, do we want to really purchase this gem and maybe give it away to EHOME?
EHOME doing such a good job at farming all the while. They're keeping up with the Alk surprisingly well.
Yeah, the
Sand came with 190 CS, Murana with 150, Luna with 230. If it weren't for Greevil's greed, they'd be quite even on net worth. And for an Alk, he's ahead. He's definitely not a hero that can 1v5 this game. He will need his team to provide assistance.
This is another Moonlight Shadow as they're prepping for a push. Sentry was taken out. That Misery placed down here earlier on. I think they see Ice with the Moonlight Shadow. There's a good chance they know something's up. They're going to back away. DC are not going to fight into that tier 1 tower. Although they would like to take that tower, and it's been there for a while. There's been some very good play from EHOME to keep that tier 1 tower alive as they move in again, invading the jungle from DC and just taking over this as best as possible.
And they reveal the Nature's Prophet mid for DC heroes, camped out bottom, expecting someone to be on their zone, and indeed, the rubbery one himself, the old chicken, is isolated. But only for now. Old 11 will rejoin them. Blinks into the trees, sets up shop, gonna deal with those Alk illusions as quickly as possible. Doesn't want to let DC get the lanes out.
Yeah, that was good creep cutting. And it's just, again, what you talked about earlier. DC have very good ways to keep the lanes pushed out. I mean, impressively good waves. Not that EHOME don't, but they'll focus their attentions more now on Roshan, which is already at half HP. And Ice will find himself in Aegis. And this might be the time where EHOME try to find some sort of push.
Oh, they are going to siege. All outer towers have been deleted from the map. DC are very good at pushing out lanes. They are not great at killing buildings yet, Mott. The Nature's Prophet doesn't have a Desolator, doesn't have true right-click items. Alchemist is quite underwhelming at killing buildings. He's much more about AoE spread damage. So I think EHOME have a really strong timing now. If they just get the lanes to a comfortable position, push out as 5, and go for the high ground siege, they can potentially just take a lane of Rax and win the game right there. I think this is probably one of their strongest timings yet this game.
They're missing some TPs on DC, like seriously missing TPs, so it's a good thing that EHOME haven't started pushing yet, but they'll make their way back pretty soon as, again, the illusions just cutting the creeps, and finally, they will at least be able to push out mid. Bottom's pushed out pretty well, though. But Old Chicken forced to go back with, of course, his Aghanim Scepter, Blink Dagger, and 3,000 gold, waiting to see what he builds next.
If they want to take it late, I still think EHOME can. They'll need more BOTs is the main thing, and they'll need to maintain the vision advantage. But they have heroes that can just flash farm. We've already seen that, so perhaps they don't feel a sense of urgency.
Maybe not. We'll wait and see. That's Maelstrom picked up for the Nature's Prophet, so again, more ways to push out the wave and just have some extra damage in fights. The Sand King picked up a Yule Scepter, so just a couple more items being built for EHOME squad, and DC will back up finally. And this is maybe where it comes in.
And they got the lanes to a comfortable position, so all right, they are going to go for the high ground siege. Slowly though, it's nice and slowly.
I have to deal with these freaking Alk illusions that you just spam like crazy.
Yeah, the missed chance is a bit annoying for Luna, but fresh disruption illusions come in. Chipping away.
Old 11 sees Resolution bottom. Epicenter getting channeled, but Resolution forces himself away. TP, he doesn't see him, and he misses the burrow. The arrow missed as well, and actually allows Resolution to get out in time. Now they're chasing through mid. They want to fight. There's the Eclipse coming in, trying to turn this, but guess what? Nobody's home. Ice. Your Eclipse does nothing. It has hit no one.
EHOME, a double whiff there. All right. Well, big push is over now.
Yeah,
they don't think so.
Maybe not the best play for me. They're going to bag them now. And Resolution will continue to split push top.
The Alk spam is annoying, that's for damn sure. With Octarine now, he will grab the plate mail. Normally Shiva's is the next choice, as he sweeps around from behind, looking for the backstab.
He's going to find Fenrir, but he's kind of far away.
It will find a Old 11.
Good disruption, but he's going to end up on the high ground, and now Fenrir getting blown up. Weehaw is on his own. The Mad Style brings him down. On the other side, 11 used up and still trying to stay alive. Earthquake down to the low ground. Weehaw getting destroyed. The Starstorm will end up taking him down. He was focused alone. There was nobody from DC there to help him out, so he does have buyback, but Saksa will lose his life as well. He'll buy some wards before dying, but he's dead for 45 without buyback, and Resolution picking up the top lane. Alchemist will end up buying back, and now
oh, that hurts.
the defense is commencing.
Having to buy back here is really costly. They're trying to isolate Old Chicken, the BOT play. Moving in on the Mirana, Cloud comes through, very nicely timed, and they do get him. A much-needed grab after that buyback.
That is a quick change from one end to the other. They might even be able to force out the buyback from the Mirana if they can push top lane, but we'll see.
They just hit buildings, not incredibly slowly, but their building damage is underwhelming.
Yeah, they could use an AC from the Alk, although
especially when they don't actually hit the building.
I think Shiva's is probably the
Shiva's is the standard build.
Yeah, exactly. He also bought a gem for his team as well, which they need so badly to take back vision and map control.
Oh, feels like it's anybody's game for now, though. We haven't seen a good EHOME fight. I think that's where I worry a lot for DC. We haven't seen a good Epicenter in some time, certainly not a multiple heroes. We haven't actually seen an Eclipse hit anyone of significance for like 15 minutes, and they're still winning the map control war.
EHOME will move together as a squad, and they have the gem as well, so they're just trying to make sure the map control has been taken care of. They also still have that Aegis for a while during that fight. It's going to be gone, I think, probably within 30, 45 seconds, I believe. I can never read the clock when it comes to when the Aegis actually...
Oh, it's coming. It's going to expire in about like 10 seconds, and then...
It's that bar? Okay, I didn't know. I thought it might have been the...
Each of them is 1 minute, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Starting from the top.
And that's going to give at least DC a little bit more room to work with and maybe less hesitancy to push out the lanes. Yeah, you're right. Aegis is gone. That clock... that clock has been super confusing to me for a long time. There's some parts of it I understand.
That's what I'm here for, Travis. I'm here to provide therapy and relief from the confusion of the clock.
Well, it's super helpful, let me tell you that much.
That's what they pay me the big bucks for.
Yeah, that's to read clocks. That's why we're here. What else was picked up?
MKB.
Lincoln's for, MKB for Ice Size, Lincoln's for Old Chicken, and a couple other items. Weehaw does get the Sheep's Guard, so no AC, and again, that doesn't solve their problem of being able to push base. At some point, maybe Resolution might buy something like an AC or a Desolator. They might have more room later on for one of these heroes to grab an AC, but for now, tower pushing is not their main objective. Their main objective looks to survive as Old 11 force burrow into Saksa, gets forced away himself, and now Yules will avoid the unstable concoction as the arrow comes through, but it won't hit on anyone.
Oh, these lanes are pushing slowly. Resolution still yet to take the tier 1. It's a very irritating game for EHOME. I think more mobility items, more blinks, more BOTs, more force staffs are in order for all these supports.
Lasso force back in. Ice has been called. Unstable concoction will go next instead of a BKB. However, still very tanky. Tricks the trade. Now finally going down. He has no buyback and they're on pursuit. Weehaw looking for more. Can they get out in time is the question.
The purge on Weehaw, but Misery still chases. Stun gonna hit on two!
Oh no!
Oh, that could have been ugly, but Old 11 looks like he'll at least make it out.
Fenrir knows he made a mistake.
I thought he got Old 11 killed there for a second.
Fenrir knows he made a mistake. He's like, listen, I'm not going to make this worse. I'm going to let Sand King survive. I'll tank the gank. Old 11.
Well, was he trying to let Sand King survive? He got him stunned, but it's okay.
We'll call that an accident. Although Old 11 might fall, Unstable Concoction, Yules will block it. He has another flank in 8 seconds. He throws away, but not that far. Down to the, south of the map.
Maybe he did get him killed, and he's the gem carrier.
He can't flank the Radiance Burn. It's too much, and Resolution finds the kill.
Fenrir. Oh no.
What a disastrous turn of events for EHOME.
That hurts.
A lot of gold.
Man, oh man. Alright, well now all the lanes will be pushed. So by the time this next fight happens, if it happens anytime soon, DC are going to get some good wards down. Expect Misery to be dewarding and trying to plant some of his own, though he doesn't have any right now.
Do you think if the Mirana had a BKB, she might have been able to live there, or was it just too much? I think she got focused down and sunlocked pretty much perfectly.
Mirana?
Oh,
Speaking
wow.
of which...
Nutrients?
Click.
Vision blinks into the trees, TPing out. Yeah, should be fine.
Would have been close. BKB is just like, what does it really stop this game? Orchid, I guess, but you already have Lincolns.
Unstable. Any Fortune's End, I suppose.
Yeah,
that's about it, though. Yeah,
it's just not a great BKB game. I think you'd rather just tank up with stat items and go for more of like a late game DPS build. So, Butterfly, E-Blade, Scotty, things like this. Daedalus, MKB.
When she got lassoed, I don't think there was any counter initiation from EHOME. That might have been the problem, or even a defensive disruption. It just didn't happen.
You mean the Luna?
Yeah,
Luna was the one that got lassoed. Yeah. Random dust from EHOME. I think you just count on your Shadow Demon. Like, honestly, Shadow Demon was really out of position there. / Ice was too far forward, but if they stay together, Batrider should not be able to drag her that far away.
That's the tough part. Making sure that the Luna is successfully sieging your towers.
The other cat lady.
Mirana also probably doing the same, but...
This cat lady's a plenty in this one.
Yeah. Old Chicken. Old 11 actually is gankable in the top lane. Bloodlusted up with nice movement speed. Misery will find him.
Well, no gem to snag here. Oh, cute Sandstorm, bro. Not gonna matter.
Man, he is still breaking ankles even from beyond the grave at this point. The Alchemist will bring him down with the Shiva's Guard, but...
EHOME starting to crumble here. Some sloppy pickoffs. DC with the punish, and now Mont, they may look for the high ground siege.
There was like a 10-minute period, right around 30 minutes, where EHOME was crushing it. Net worth was even. And DC has not only actually eclipsed them, but done much more. Up to 10,000 net worth advantage now. Demonic Purge.
Chemical Rage is coming soon. Can they turn this?
We're going to look for right clicks from Resolution. It looks like DC are going to back up together as a squad, but now Old 11 on the hunt. Bloodlusted up, but I don't know how far they go. Blink forward, Old Chicken looking for the arrow, but can't find it on the move.
This could be a dieback if he's not careful. He does get the Yule set up.
Misery will take a lot of damage as the Starstorm falls and still doesn't hit him. Now the Eclipse coming through, doing some nice work, but still not enough damage. Weehaw tanking a lot of it. Now the Burrow Strike in, and Weehaw's getting low. The Chemical Rage not healing him up enough. And they will bring down one. Zox to the first. Now the second. Old Chicken, he'll fall.
Looking for a bit more. Weehaw backing up. Ice has to finish him. He's committed at this point, but he's getting away. Weehaw, Chemical Rage is up. He's going to completely heal back to full HP. Misery survives too.
Resolution's coming in. The Shadow Blade looking for Ice. Does he have the Sprout range? Blink forward. Move. Has Lasso ready to go again. Now Old 11 coming in. It's too late. It's too late. 4 dead for EHOME. They outlast the fight, DC, and Resolution TP's forward, looking for Lana, but he gets orchided. Force Staff is ready, Hurricane fight for Resolution, but he just goes for the tower instead, and forces out 2 buybacks in the process.
EHOME are crumbling. This game is getting quickly out of hand. Mont, a 13,000 gold advantage now. Alk could start giving his team Aghanim Scepters if he so pleases, can buy that Moon Shards, can replace the Armlet. This is officially about to be a 7-slotted Alchemist or a very fat set of supporting cast heroes. Either way, DC now in the driver's seat, all lanes generally pushing, except that bottom lane looking for the Roche.
They're going to contest this.
And
they know.
Forced to buy back.
They don't have the Sand King for 40 seconds, but they're going to send at least the Illusions in, and maybe I think they've realized they can't do this on their own without the Sand King. So it looks like EHOME might just give this up, and that's really bad. That's going to be the beginning of the end, I believe.
They'll need a good high ground defense to turn this game around. But if DC want to slow roll it, they can just feed Aghanim Scepters to their teammates, get the Moon Shards on the Alk, still room for Resolution to grow a bit here. Something like an Orchid could be upgraded, you can replace the Hurricane Pike, Phase Boots can be converted into something else if you so desire. So there's still some breathing room here for additional item pickups. And Riki actually scales quite hard. Granted, isn't the best farmer.
There's that Diffusal Blade that'll help him in scaling. It's like that's the first item on a long list of items for Riki in order to be able to do enough right click to actually be helpful later on down the road.
Man, it feels like as soon as Old 11, like that one miss stun was just, it was something broke inside him, Mott, and he's just been missing too many spells since then.
It was that and the combination of the Luna getting picked off.
Yeah.
The game was even at that point, even in terms of net worth as well.
And EHOME had the map control at edge, I would say. But
Bloodthorn picked up for the Nature's Prophet, so the extra crit going his way, as well as the what else is it?
Just your DPS in general is much higher. Removes
True Strike as well.
Gives you True Strike, though there is no evasion on EHOME for now.
All right, who's the Zags going to LD?
I would guess Nature's Prophet. Let's see.
It's either that or
Bat Rider.
yeah.
Okay, looks like it's Bat.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy.
All right, well, that just increases movement worth wildly. And double lasso, if he can get close enough. He doesn't have the Aether Lens, though, so could use that if he needs some extra range.
EHOME. Just chilling in the base for now. Try to collect their thoughts, regain some poise, and think about their lives. 43 minutes in. I still think they have a very good high ground defense lineup, and this is a throwable game for DC. Make no mistake about it.
I mean, we kept talking about it. There's still not that much pushing. I mean, they have more attack speed now. They do more damage now, yes, but you don't have any armor reduction or ways to just...
They just don't hit buildings that hard.
Yeah.
No Death Prophet, no Lone Druid, no Lycan, no Necrobug.
A Desolator or an Assault Cuirass, either of those which would be fine, but they're more content with just winning the fights using the items they have, and right now they're doing so. And EHOME now will be forced to just to stay in their base, and until DC commit to a push, this is what's going to happen.
So they've got him in a half Nelson. They're looking to make it a full now. Mid lane, basically at the EHOME base. Bottom lane, fully shoved in. Top lane, only slowly creeping out. And it's Aghanim's number 2, who's the lucky winner this time.
I think he is buyback now that he's bought that second Aghanim's. It should be what we thought originally, which was Resolution, but who freaking knows? It is flying out of the courier. It'll be there in a little while, but he's got the lasso now. He's caught, though. Can't bring him down to the low ground. However, the disruption is a little bit late. Ice still been caught, but they don't go in now. Epicenter is not there yet, just from old 11, but they will continue to fight. The trade will fly next.
DC needs to disengage here. Epicenter still in line. Eclipse is available.
Wow.
Lasso was already committed.
Resolution took a lot of damage. I don't think he had been false promised. No.
All right, so who got it?
Resolution, yeah.
Okay.
Now they're going to be always pushed in, pretty much.
This is a nice way to help secure map control further, but we can see that it's not easy for DC to fully break the space. Moo, I guess he was he a bit late with the BKB, or was that just the Demonic Purge? Oh, hold that thought. They're moving in.
Old Bottom going to get caught now. As spray on the ground, we are looking for a target. Jeeva's Guard. Old Bottom in a lot of trouble. Starstorm coming through. Good burrow strike on it too, but no follow-up. They've already lost that Ogre, as Old 11's next.
Now stunned up, the Sankey will be disrupted, but Old Chicken has to run away. This leaves Old 11 on an island. Silence controlled and dealt with as DC surge forward, looking for Ice 2. Can they kill him?
Oh, this is a huge kill. Can they bring him down? Weeha's coming in. Both Konosuke Misery alive. No buyback on the Cat Lady. The other one does.
Digital Chaos are 1 win away from a guaranteed 1 seed in Group B. The sun spanning is nearly complete.
What a game. That was, they had an idea of what they wanted to do, a strategy. They said, let's keep going, and they eventually were successful in that strategy. They didn't need those items, those Desolators, those ACs. They didn't need those items, and EHOME made some critical errors, not super huge errors, but